started trying to break these chains, but the devil's got a hold of it. Lord, Lord, we are begging for a change. Can we get it? Right down to the court, different type of shit around me. Wake up, it's a bad hit. The reality hit me when I'm silver teeth shot, knock me down another galaxy. Call of Duty in the dark, but pull the trigger. You ain't nothing to it. Get sprayed, popping pills and get me through the day. Boy, don't work.
Oh, there it is. What's up, guys? Of course, technical difficulty. I don't know if you guys seen that video or not, but I couldn't see the screen. But, what's up? One night to another. Here with my sister. You're my sister, right? Brittney?
I mean, I think. I think. I don't know if we look alike or not. Kind of, sometimes.
I don't know. Right here. So I gotta do my podcast too.
It's okay. Well,
Can we get that bigger?
I don't know.
Don't make it do a full screen on there or whatever.
Okay, guys.
Anyway, what's up? It is the holidays. Everybody's busy. Everybody's cutting you off and trying to drive to Vienna.
There we go. There we go. We're getting it.
And today's episode is about enabling addicts, enabling loved ones that you may know what they're doing, but you're denying it and giving them money and all that and that. But before I go into all that, I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
We already had Christmas at my house Saturday. We did it early.
It doesn't feel like Christmas this year.
It doesn't.
I think I'm just so busy.
The weather's nice. Well, it's not bad anyway. It's at least sunny.
Right.
But on that note, I know for me when I was like deep down in my addiction, even when I'm not deep down in my addiction, sober, this is the worst time of year for me.
Yeah.
Like I get depressed, and the weather sucks. I'm used to Florida, so
yeah,
being here like reminds me I'm old because my muscles can't move.
Yeah.
But so with that in mind, what I'm trying to say is be nice. You know, just let that loved one, whomever is struggling, that you know that you love them. You know what I mean? They're going through. I mean, you don't think they feel bad about not being able to get their kids stuff for Christmas, and
that's the hardest part.
Oh, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know,
it doesn't mean you got to give them money for Christmas.
Exactly.
It just means at least say, "Hey, we love you."
Yep.
You know, at least a Merry Christmas. I remember we were. It was the last apartment we had, and it was Thanksgiving, and neither one of our families said Happy Thanksgiving or nothing. That was pretty hard. But
yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, so be nice. I know that you're thinking, well, it's his own fault. It's his own fault. Well, it may be, but
it's still Christmas. You know.
You know, we don't want anybody dying. You know, what I mean,
Right.
Suicide. December is like the highest rate in suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and whenever you're deep down in your addiction, it's easy to want to commit suicide. Anyway, so that's something else I want to say about our number. So anyway, enabling addicts. So on this topic, I was trying to think of. I know people that enable addicts. I personally don't, but I think about my kid, I have 3 kids, 14, 12, and 8. I just think about, now, let's just be real here, at least one of them is probably going to go through the dope stage. You
Right.
know what I mean? At least, that's just real. I hope and pray that they all 3 don't.
There's not a lot of people out there that can honestly say they've never tried at least marijuana.
Yeah, true.
True.
So I think about if one of my kids was coming and telling me, "Oh, I need money for rent. I need money for this," I swear. And I knew that they were doing drugs. Like, would I give them the money or would I not?
But see, the thing is, we know that that's enabling, and we know that it's going for somewhere else. But whereas our parents, when they're doing it, they're thinking, "Yeah, well, I'm actually giving them the rent," but really, it's not the rent.
Yeah.
So we know. So we're going to see it quicker.
But
Because
would
of
you
that.
give your kid money?
I wouldn't give them money, but
You
like.
think? No,
I wouldn't know,
honestly.
honestly, I wouldn't hand them, if there was an active addiction, I wouldn't hand them money, but I would go and buy them food. Or I would go and help them pay, But I wouldn't do that forever, though.
Smart.
I wouldn't do it forever, though, I would.
Not forever.
I would always feed them. But I ain't going to pay your bills forever. Or, I'll help you to get back on your feet.
They're going to help you get high the rest of your life.
Right.
You're going to be dead, you know what I mean? And so, like, I was like, in reality, in my mind, I'm just trying to think, as a parent, like, would I feel bad? Because I'm a sucker, man.
Right.
When it comes to my kids, I'm a sucker. I'll give them whatever they want. You know what I mean?
You know the life that it lives, so
I do.
and you know how it gets, so you wouldn't just give them money. You would help them other ways, other than giving them
Oh,
money.
yeah.
Like go
I'd
buy food
do
for
anything
them.
for them, yeah.
Right.
So,
And that's what people say they're enabler because they don't know. They don't know that they know, but
well, so we'll get to that. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you my story about the enabling part side of my family. The thing was I wasn't around a lot of my family. So whenever I graduated high school, whenever I dropped out of high school, sorry.
I didn't know you dropped out of high school.
Yeah, 10th grade. And
You was in Florida?
I was in Texas then.
Texas. Okay.
And then I moved to North Carolina for like a year, and then I moved down to Florida. I was probably 18 by the time I got down to Florida, 19. So my family didn't, that's when I started doing my, hardcore shit, you know what I mean? So my family didn't know what I was into. So I could pick up that phone once a week. Oh, man, I got to pay my my rent this month.
You was around no family up there? I thought your mom was up there.
Well, yeah, my mom don't help. I'm talking about people that enabled me.
I swear we're siblings, guys, but I'm still learning.
Yeah, we don't know much about it.
Right. That's what makes it better, though, huh?
Like, Mom's been back and forth. She was back and forth there, but I had my Aunt Robin. She was, that's who I moved down there with to begin with, but I didn't start. I can't remember how long I lived with her. Then after I moved out there is when I started all that. And, but, she didn't enable me. She didn't give me nothing. But my grandparents and, mostly.
But nobody was
They had
really,
no idea.
Because they weren't physically around to see.
They weren't physically around
Yeah.
to see what I was doing.
Right.
And, I'm a spoiled brat, when it comes to them.
Especially with your name.
I'm the first grade. Oh, no, I'm not the first. Jesse's the first. I'm the second grandson. But, so they weren't around until then I started coming back and forth because, I'd go to jail down there, and then I'd get out, I wouldn't have nowhere to go, and I'd be sleeping on the streets, and then I'd get on a bus, or my papa, he'd send me money, get on a bus, whatever.
Or go back to Dad's for a week until
Yeah, go
so
back,
those pops off.
go back to Dad's for a week, they'd be like, okay, I'm out here again, and then...
But see, I was young.
Cycle,
I was
man.
still young at that point, so I didn't really know. I remember I got so mad at you when I found that bag of weed. I found a bag of weed underneath the couch that I was sleeping on. I think I was maybe,
God.
I don't even know, 12 maybe.
Was you? Oh
I don't
gosh,
know.
You were young. Well, when I was 18, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Damn, I am that much older than you.
I was so against
It's like 8.
pot and everything
Oh,
back then.
geez.
I tore up Dad's pot plants and put some Windex on it and shit. And I'm like, damn, and he had some pretty plants for an old man.
What?
Yeah. So,
You put what? Windex
Windex.
on it?
They were up in the attic.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
That is
And I think
messed
back,
up.
are you serious? Because they were pretty for being a,
Yeah.
so. So back to your family enabling you in Texas.
So they were enabling me not even knowing it. So I guess that's kind of different for me. I mean, I see people, but like I watch parents now with some of my buddies, you know. I mean, they give them money, and you can see it in their eyes, you know, they're upset about it, they don't want to, but they do it anyway.
But they think they're helping them, but it's not help. Like, if you want to help them, get them the food or pay the bill, which...
Yeah. And I've seen these guys cuss them. I mean, talking to the mothers like, give me the fuck out of here, bitch, you know, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on? You don't talk to your parents like, my mom would have beat the freaking hide off of me.
Yeah, my mom was a spitfire, but we've gotten each other's face a couple times.
So that's my only take. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I get it, and I don't get it at the same time. You know, you don't want to kill your kid and everything, but at the same time, I feel, you know,
you just gotta help them the right way.
You know, yeah.
See,
but what if they came to you and said, "I need money for dope," and they weren't trying to lie to you?
I mean,
then what?
I couldn't, because I've been where I've been, and no.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I couldn't.
Money for dope.
I'd probably smack.
You know what
smack
I'd do?
in the mouth.
I'd put them right in freaking rehab.
Oh yeah,
I'd do something with them.
Yeah.
Check. I can't say no. I would beat the shit out of
Yep.
them. No, I would. I'm just kidding. I don't want my kids to live that life. I really don't. I really fear that, you know. And, I mean, and then everywhere's bad. You can't move somewhere, and when I got out, I was going through all these different cities. I was working everywhere, and
But
it's
drugs
all the
everywhere.
same everywhere. I mean,
Drugs
it's everywhere.
Yep.
You're not going to shoulder it, so.
I've been back and forth as to like tell my kids about what happened, and I think I'm going to just let them know that I've been there. But
Yeah.
I want to be the one to tell them, and I want it to be old enough.
My kids already know.
Your kids are a lot older than mine. Mine's 5, 3, and 2.
Yeah, right.
You know, so,
yeah.
Because I want them to come to me if it ever comes to that. I don't want them to be afraid.
That's smart right there.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't going to give them the graphic details, but I'm going to say, you know, the gist of it. Like, I've been through it, and
that's kind of like if you're going to we're probably getting off. Let's talk about your enabling before I get off topic.
Okay, well, Mom was very, I don't know. She's smart. She calls shit quick, but I think she just didn't want to admit it at first, I guess. So, you know, so.
I think that's what it goes. I think that's what it goes. Like, you don't want to.
Yeah.
My child is doing drugs.
But when I was growing up, I had my own job. She never really enabled me until I started losing everything, you know. And then she would pay to get the U-Haul to help me move my stuff into a storage, pay for the storage, and then a couple months later she'll pay to get me into a new apartment, and then I fucked that one up, you know. So it was a repetitive thing.
When did she come to you? When did she come to you and be like, I know you're doing drugs? I mean, how many years did it take?
Well, I mean, as of like smoking pot and stuff, my stepdad found a pot seed in my freaking drawer. Literally, yeah.
I'm talking about like whatever she was paying for your apartment and shit or whatever, and like, when did she actually like come down and say, I know you're doing drugs, or I mean, how did that go down? I could just imagine because.
Oh yeah,
I don't know her real well, but I know she's spitfire.
Yeah, she is. At least. I really don't even know.
You remember? You too messed up.
Yeah, I mean,
that's true, man.
I think she knew that the person I was with was on drugs before, and then I was just starting to lose stuff, I think. And I think she just realized because I always had my own shit, you know.
Did she keep on helping you? For a little bit?
To the point, yeah. Yeah.
For a little bit?
Well, actually, no, because I didn't really need help until I lost my kid, and that's when I started needing help. And she wasn't allowed to talk to me because she had her. You know, so, and anyway, she was pissed anyway at me.
Yeah.
Because then she saw me getting back on drugs. Like, I mean, that one drug worse.
Yeah.
So, she really didn't enable me. But then I would go and, like, do the rehab for 30 days or get out of jail, and she'd try to help me again and get me a new apartment. And then I would fuck that up, too. So she'd help me with the U-Haul and all that other stuff. So she enabled me, but when my mom was mad, she was mad. Like, you know, she was mad. So she enabled me a lot, but she would have more, but I wouldn't let her around the kids. And and she's had them, you know, so she couldn't really do much for me because of that.
She's the only one
That what?
that enabled you?
Oh, no.
Who else? Who else? Who else enabled?
Well, I can't mention names, but...
Well, don't mention... So you had other people that...
My...
Yeah, you have to mention that.
No, just the other side of the family.
Yeah.
Or the in-laws. The in-laws, I'll say.
They knew that you know,
Oh,
they
yeah.
knew about it, and they...
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to say no, you know, I mean, like even... And then they get to the point to where, like...
But see,
I know I got to the point where I didn't care if they knew or not, you know, that's just like...
Yeah. I mean, they would give us, like, rides and shit to go get it because they knew we was going to get it anyway.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I mean, they knew we was going to get there anyway, so why not give us this, you know? And that's what, like, a lot of my anger came to was the enabling of the other half. Like, it was before I started really getting hard into them. And, I mean, there was a restraining order against his mom and everything because I felt like she enabled him a lot. And then I got into it. And then she was enabling me, and it was okay then.
Yeah.
You know? So.
My mom never enabled me. Like, she knew what I was doing, and, I mean, she always do. We always, we just grew up like that, you know what I mean? So, but she never enabled me. Even when I was older and, like, we were getting along and everything.
She never
and I wanted some money, you know what I mean? And she didn't give me nothing.
Okay, you don't have to answer this if you don't want, but did she, like, do drugs with you when she was younger?
Not younger.
Like, not young?
No,
Like,
no,
teenager?
No.
She wouldn't let you do shit around her?
No, I mean, drink.
Yeah.
Well, like, I was allowed to drink. You know,
well, I think that's the worst thing.
But I was just like, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't give it, like, I was like, I'm going to do it. You can growl me, you can do whatever you want. I'm still going to do it. I'm not going to listen to you. You know, when I dropped out of school, like, she was pissed, like, and I was like, I'm doing it no matter what. I'm not going. I'm sorry, Mom. That's not right. Because I can imagine my kids sits there and telling me, I'm not
that's
doing
where you
this.
needed that dad figure cover with your ass. That's what you needed.
Well, exactly.
I'm saying. She did, I mean, you guys were crazy. I don't really know anything about Ryan, but
Ryan
I could just imagine all three of you being crazy, man.
We were crazy.
So, props to her for at least not killing y'all.
Yeah, she really put up with a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she's kind of bad off now, man, but, like, I feel for her, you know. It's like, man, the shit we put her through ain't no longer. See, sometimes it's the kid's fault why we do drugs. Parents, you push us
Wait,
there.
what? The parents push us?
No, I'm kidding. I am totally kidding.
They make us want to drink
But
sometimes.
sometimes they
and pull their hair out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I'm having a bad day
But
and I'm back on drugs,
I'm
you know?
sitting there saying, yeah, but not mine. Like, I don't really have problems with my kids. Like, they're good kids. I mean.
How old's your oldest?
14.
Oh, well, teenager coming.
She's a teenager. She's very responsible, very respectful. Just like Jay knows. Everybody
she's in
knows
Florida,
Jay.
right?
Yeah, she's in Florida.
Oh.
And
she's pretty too. So.
Yeah.
I know.
She looks like I think she looks like Autumn, but some people say no. I don't know.
Yeah.
So enabling.
That was my enable story.
Yeah.
She really.
So what's the point of this? Parents, don't give them strictly money.
Right.
I'm probably gonna have like death threats from drug addicts. Like, you tell my parents I can give you their money. You know what I mean? Like,
help them. Just in the right way.
You know, if you can.
Yeah.
If you can help them, you know, in the right way, exactly.
Like food. Take them.
Make sure they have some.
Doesn't mean hand them a food stamp card either, because.
For a point of time.
Yeah.
After years of it, you just gotta tough love and you gotta drop
Okay,
it.
but you can't say that if your daughter or something knocked on your door and told you she was starving for the millionth time, you wouldn't feed her.
Oh, feeding, yeah.
Yeah.
But giving her a place to live.
Oh yeah, no.
Stuff like that. They're going to.
You gotta do tough love.
You gotta do tough love.
And I would never admit that when I was on drugs, but. It's what mom. I would get so mad when mom say that. I gotta show you the tough love. I'm like, yeah, but no, for real.
And people hate on that, you know what I mean?
But actually, that really doesn't help much either because I mean, I don't know, because then that's when you realize, damn, I really don't have anybody else, so fuck, why getting clean? Why get clean then? So it's like...
Okay, so you're going to go one way or the other. You'll be like,
Yeah.
why get clean and screw it? Or you're going to say, man, I've done messed up everything out. You know, I need to fix this shit. You know what I mean?
Just depending on where your mind's going with it.
And it
But it
depends,
takes you to a dark
depends
place,
on what's
though.
going on. I mean, once you start getting arrested and you start, you know, and you go homeless and you don't have nothing, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And you're
That's
sitting
when
in
you're like,
jail.
oh,
Yeah.
and you're
And it takes you to
sober.
a dark place.
Yeah.
Especially if you're coming off on dope and, you know, in a holding center.
I'm telling you, jail is the spot where
See-
people need to go. I
see,
mean,
I
if you're not going to
disagree.
stop, no, I don't disagree.
I don't think jail fixes you. Unless you're there
Have you
for like
ever
5
been to
years.
jail?
Yes. I was
For how long?
just for 14 days.
14
That's it.
days.
But like long time period. But I know people that just got out of prison and still doing.
I mean,
Stupid
I'm
shit.
not saying jail helps, but I'm not saying jail helps. No, because mostly you get out just like I did and just
Yeah.
do the shit again.
I think
but,
trauma helps.
But in your mind, like I think like you get a little bit smarter about it. Like you go to jail, and you're thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like you're sober, and when you get out. That what you thought about in jail, it still be in your mind and be like, okay, you might be doing the same things, but
If you go back to the same lifestyle, 10 to 1, you're probably going back into.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I think trauma is the biggest thing. Like, that's what gets you clean, is trauma.
You think so?
I mean,
That's what made me go downhill.
I'm talking about, like, yeah. I mean, but something like dramatic as to why.
Like when my
What?
son died. Is that trauma you're talking about? Like that went, that
No.
sent me.
That's the peak of it. But I'm just saying, like, after your addiction, like, when I got sick and in the hospital,
Yeah.
like, that was traumatic enough to
Oh,
quit.
you're talking about.
Yeah, you know, that's what I
It
think.
wasn't for me. I got shot like everything else. I mean, I was a hard case. Yeah, there's nobody really like made me, but
You got to that fucking attitude.
I got to that, yeah, and then
Oh, sorry.
when I. So
Sorry,
it really
guys.
made me go to get help. Like I never, ever, ever was going to go to a rehab. But it was when I started mixing the meth and heroin, and I started doing heroin, and then I started noticing, like I do it once a month, and then I started noticing I was doing it
Yeah.
twice a month, 3 times a month.
And that's
then
the
I'm
real
letting
withdrawal.
it, okay,
Yeah.
and I like it way too much,
It's
and I
scary.
knew that it was going to kill me.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
So and like.
But that's
what-
smart, though.
I
I
see
mean-
my kid, I'm like, man, I gotta be here for my kid. you
Yeah.
know? So that's what made me really wanting to get help. Sometimes it takes shit like that. you
And
know?
rehab does help, but I don't think 30 days is long enough.
No.
I think you need to go for, like, 14 months or 12 months. 'Cause
Yeah.
30
It
days ain't
ain't- yeah,
nothing.
30 days ain't nothing.
It's not.
You gotta really learn to get,
You got to retrain.
yeah, you live a new life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? New routine.
And if you're in there longer, then you can start building your life up and realize, damn, I don't want to screw up what I have in here. Because,
Get more people.
There's a lot of
knowing that can
resources
help
in
you.
those.
Resources,
Yeah.
yeah.
like, they'll help you get a job and everything before you get out and stuff. So.
Yeah, there is places like that. And then you come to but a lot of people want insurance. You know how they gonna pay to get help and everything like that.
Medical card pays for this.
Well, like even if you don't have a medical card,
Right.
but medical card pays for like what 30 days and shit like that, or do they? I'm talking like.
I don't really know about that.
So that's why I'm saying I expect this all the time. Life Changes Outreach,
Yep.
where I went, you don't have to have a dime.
Do you not?
No. You don't have to have a dime. You don't have to have nothing.
That's a Christian one, huh?
It is
Oh,
faith
that's
based. But I mean, like when you go in there, they ask you for $500, but you don't but they're like, if you don't have it, don't worry about it.
Right.
But the way that they fund it is these guys go out every weekend. We've gone out every weekend to different Walmarts in
Oh, cool.
different states, and we like ask for donations for our shirts that we make. I worked in the t-shirt shop. I made all the shirts and everything like
Cool.
that. I actually ended up being the leader of it and everything. Anyway,
Like the car wash does down here at Recovery Point.
you know what they do?
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. Recovery
I'm
and
just
all that.
saying, my thing on rehab, if you're going to go, like, go. It's not for, like, 30 days. Go for the 12 months
Get
or
away from
something.
your town.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to a couple hours away
Yeah.
to where that itch of wanting to leave.
And you can't walk 2 hours away from home.
I was in Akron, so I was like, man, I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's gonna come get me anyway. So
I went to detox one time, and it was, like, real close to the edge of Kentucky, like 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And that's probably the only reason why I didn't walk out of there.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
Because
true.
if you're in town, like you're gonna walk out of there.
You want to go
You're
rehab?
gonna feel like shit. Yeah.
You're wasting time.
Not saying anything against the rehabs here.
No.
It's just you can't do it local.
No.
Like, I bet I can leave real quick and.
No, I know there's probably people saying, "Oh yeah, I could do it." I mean, the grass ain't green on the other side, and all. I've heard people have told me that, and I'm like, okay, so that's why you're doing drugs. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't helping you. It ain't helping. I've never like seen somebody. Have I ever seen anybody just quit doing drugs in their hometown? I don't know anybody that is completely clean that just went to a rehab here and it worked. Do you?
Like I said, a lot of
It
people.
worked for a little bit,
Yeah.
but you know.
A lot of people that I was hanging out with during addiction, a lot of them's getting clean actually, but they're freshly clean, so we'll see.
Yeah.
We're in different age, you know.
When I left, like the people, life changers, they told me. I mean, they understood why I was leaving, but they said going back to your hometown is not the spot to go. You know what I mean? I was like, well, where else am I going to go? You know?
But
And I only left in 2 weeks, so
yeah.
I mean, it don't take. I mean, that all them old feelings started coming back as soon as I got back to town. I hadn't even smoked a cigarette in 14 months. Not. I got right as soon as I got off the bus, smoking a cigarette. Soon as the next day, buying me some beer.
Yeah.
And then next thing I know, I'm a little buzzed. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get high. You know what I mean? Just once. I'm just gonna get high once. You know. No.
It never happens.
It don't happen that way.
No.
So that's just real talk.
If you're any type of a truthful person, that don't happen. Not one time.
No. No, if you're not
If
going
so,
to do it
then
once,
we wouldn't have
you're not going to do
been
it
the addicts
once.
we were. You know.
Exactly. It's hard. I mean,
It is.
it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy getting off the drugs.
Takes one little teensy
No.
tiny.
That one
Bad
mistake
day.
that we make when we're younger, when we're just, oh, I'm going to try it, you know, ruin the rest of your life. I mean, it can ruin the rest of your life. I mean,
But you have to choose how to deal with the relapse. Are you going to let it drag on, or are you going to
Exactly.
realize, hey, I'm screwing up?
Yep.
And
that's where God comes into play, Brittney.
yeah.
Yeah. God go to him. He still loves you. Don't be ashamed of it.
No, I just don't know. I never grew up in going into church and stuff. So I just don't know.
I didn't really. I mean, my grandparents took me to church there once in a while growing up. You know, I mean, it wasn't real big, but like when I went to rehab, that's when I really like.
We should totally get your dad to come on. She's the
Man,
sweetest little old lady. She's so
yes.
cute.
She's having surgery the day before Christmas.
Why couldn't they waited?
I don't know. Her hip's pretty. I think her hip's pretty bad.
She's the
So
sweetest little lady.
I'm asking for prayers for my nanny
Yeah.
and my papa. They got some age on them a little bit. Papa, I haven't forgot about you. I forgot to bring that chicken.
Does he still play his guitar?
No.
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 I don't think so. But, well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Got anything else?
I think that'll do it.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
And
Keep
listen to us
watching.
blab.
You catch us on YouTube also. Yeah, that just closed.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
It's
my
just
battery's
saying
down.
that the battery is low. See, perfect timing. Okay, guys. Well,
Yep.
until next time.
One addict to another.
Let's see.
Hey. Got everybody.
How do you stop it?
I have no
There we go.
idea.
Bye, guys.